Oh, guys, I'm back with Leviticus chapter 15 today. Today is kind of a long lesson today. Well, I hope you learn it to the end. Let's start. It's about disease. Wait a second. Skin diseases. Rule about skin diseases, chapter 13. The Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron. He told them to say to the people, "Both someone's skin has a swelling or a rash or shiny spot, and suppose it could become a skin disease. Then they must be brought to the priest Aaron, or they must be brought to a priest in Aaron's family line. The priest must look carefully at the sore on the person's skin. He must see whether the hair at the sore has turned white. He must also see whether the sore seems to be under the skin. If the sore is white and is under the skin, it's a skin disease. When the priest looks at that person over carefully, he must announce that the person is unclean. Suppose the shiny spot on the skin is white but does not seem to be under the skin, and suppose the hair in the spot has not turned white, then the priest must take the person, stay away from everyone else for 7 days, or the seventh day. On the seventh day, the priest must look carefully at the sore again. Suppose it not changed and has not spread in the skin, then the priest must make the person stay away from everyone else for another 7 days. On the seventh day, the priest must look carefully at the sore again. If it has faded and has not spread, he must announce that the person is clean. It is only a rash. That person must wash their clothes. They will be clean. But suppose the rash spreads in the skin after they have shown themselves to a priest a second time, then they must appear in front of the priest again. The priest must look carefully at the sore. If the rash has spread, he must announce that the person is unclean. They have a skin disease. When anyone has a skin disease, they must be brought to the priest. The priest must look at them over carefully. Suppose there is a white swelling in the skin. Suppose it has turned the hair white. And suppose there are open sores in the swelling, then the person had a skin disease that will never go away. The priest must announce that they are unclean. The priest must not make them stay away from anyone else. They are already unclean. Oh, the disease breaks out all over the skin, and suppose it covers them from head to foot. As far as the priest can tell, then the priest must look them over carefully. If the disease has covered their whole body, the priest must announce that they are unclean. All their skin has turned white, so they are clean. But when open sores appeared on their skin, they will not be clean. When the priest sees the open sores, he must announce they are unclean. Open sores are not clean. They have a skin disease. But if the open sores change and turn white, they must go to the priest. The priest must look them over carefully. If the sores have turned white, announce that the person is clean, then they will be clean. Suppose someone has a boil on their skin and it heals, and suppose a white swelling where shiny pink spot appears where the boil was, then they must show themselves to the priest. The priest must look at the boil carefully. Suppose it seems to be under the skin, and suppose the hair and it has turned white. Then the priest must announce that the person is unclean. A skin disease has broke out where the boil was. But suppose that when the priest looked at the boil carefully, there is no white hair in it. The boil is not under the skin, and it has faded. Then the priest must make the person stay away from everyone else for 7 days. If the boil is spreading in the skin, the priest must announce that the person is unclean. They have a skin disease, but suppose the spot has not changed, and suppose it does not spread, then it's only a scar from the boil. And the priest must announce that the person is clean. And suppose someone has a burn on their skin, and suppose a white or shiny pink spot shows up in the open source of the burn, then the priest must look at the spot carefully. Suppose the hair in it has turned white, and suppose the spot seems to be under the skin, then the person has skin disease. It has broken out where they are burned. The priest must announce that the person is unclean. They have a skin disease, but suppose the priest looks at the spot carefully. Suppose there is no white hair in it. Suppose the spot is not under the skin, and suppose it has faded. Then the priest must make the person stay away from everyone else for 7 days. On the 7th day, the priest must look them over carefully. If the spot is spreading in the skin, the priest must announce that the person is unclean. They have a skin disease, but suppose the spot has not changed, it has not spread in the skin, and it has faded, and the burn has caused it to swell. The priest must announce that the person is clean. It is only a scar from the burn. Suppose a man or woman has a sore in their head or chin, then the priest must look at the sore carefully. Suppose it seems to be under the skin, and suppose the hair in the sore is yellow and thin, then the priest must announce that the person is unclean. The sore is a skin disease on the head or chin. But suppose the priest looks carefully at the sore. It does not seem to be under the skin, and there is no black hair in it. And the priest must make the person stay away from everyone else for 7 days. On the 7th day, the priest must look at the sore carefully. Suppose it has not spread in the skin, it does not have any yellow hair in it, and it does not seem to be under the skin. The man or woman must shave their head, but they must not shave the area where the disease is. Okay, so meaning, suppose it does not spread it on the skin, and it does not have any yellow hair in it, and does not seem to be under the skin, then the man or woman needs to shave the skin, like get scissors, and but you must not like shave the part that has the disease. Okay, guess that was a beefy. I guess. Hmm. But they must not oops. And the priest must make them stay away from everyone else for another 7 days. On the 7th day, the priest must look at the sword carefully. Suppose it has not spread in the skin, and suppose it does not seem to be under the skin, and the priest must demand that the person is clean. They must wash their clothes. They will be clean. But suppose the sore spreads in the skin after the priest announces that the person is clean, and the priest must look them over carefully. Suppose the sore has spread, and the priest does not have to look for yellow hair. The person is unclean, but suppose the sore has stopped, and black hair has grown there as far as the priest can tell that the person is healed and is clean. The person must announce they are clean. Suppose a man or a woman has white spots on the skin, then the priest must look at them carefully. Suppose these that spots are the white and the harmless grass is broken out. The skin, the person's skin, clean. Suppose a man loses all the hair on his head, then he is clean. Suppose he loses only the hair on the front of his head, then he is clean. But suppose he has a shiny pink sore on his head where his hair was, then he has a skin disease. Isn't breaking out on his whole head or on the front of his head. The priest must look him over carefully. Suppose the swollen sore on his head or the front of it, it's pink and shiny. Suppose it looks like a skin disease, then he has a skin disease and he is unclean. The priest must announce that the man is unclean, that because he has a sore on his head. Suppose someone has a skin disease that makes them unclean, then they must wear on sore clothes. They must wear sore clothes, and they must let their hair hang loose, and they must cover the lower part of their face. They must cry out, "Unclean! Unclean!" As long as they have the disease, they remain unclean. They must live alone, like Home Alone. They must live outside the camp. Rules about mold. Suppose some clothes have mold on them, the clothes should be made out of wool or linen, or there could be clothes woven or knitted out of linen or wool. There could be pieces of leather, or there could be things that are made out of leather, as opposed to mold on the clothes or on those. Woven or knitted clothes looks green or red, or supposed to green or red, what is not the pieces of leather or the leather goods, that it is mold that spreads, but it must be shown to the priest. The priest must look at it carefully. He must keep the thing with the mold on away from everything else for 7 days. On the seventh day, he must look at it carefully. Suppose the mold has spread the clothes or the woven or knitted cloth, or suppose it has spread pieces of leather or on the leather goods. Then it is mold that destroys the thing is unclean. The priest must burn everything with the mold in it. He must burn the clothes or the woven or knitted clothes made out of wool or linen. He must burn the leather coats. The mold destroys, so everything must be burned. Suppose the priest looks at the thing carefully. The mold is not spread in the clothes, and it is not spread in the woven or knitted clothes or in the leather goods. Then he will order some to wash the thing with the mold on it. After that, the priest must keep that thing away from everything else for another 7 days. After the thing with the mold on it has been washed, the priest must look at it again carefully. Both the way the mold has not changed, and then even though the mold is not spread, it is unclean for it. It does not matter which side of the thing the mold is on. suppose the priest looks at it carefully, and suppose the mold has faded after the thing has been washed, then the priest must tear out the part with mold on it. He must tear it out of the clothes or leather. He must tear it out of the wooden or knitted clothes. But suppose it shows up again in the clothes. Or suppose it shows up again in the wooden or knitted clothes or the leather goods. That is burning. Everything with the mold on it must be burned. The clothes that have been washed and do not have any more mold on them must be washed again. So must the wooden or knitted clothes or the other goods. Then they will be clean. These are the rules about what to do with anything with mold on it. They like to clothes that are made out of wool linen. They apply to woven and knitted clothes and to leather goods. They give a brief directions about when to announce whether something is clean or unclean. You read it all the book, so I guess it's box time. Did you know what is the worst skin disease? The worst skin disease described here is the leprosy. People with leprosy could lose their fingers, toes, noses, or ears. The Old Testament told people with skin diseases to live away from others. Then no one else would catch their illness. I know, kind of skin disease because I watched on YouTube. I was just looking at shorts and I know leprosy in shorts. What about you? Did you know leprosy? So today's summary is laws and rules about skin diseases and molds. Yeah, that's all. Okay, so I guess it's break time. Okay, let's start. Dear God, save us about Leviticus chapter 13 today, and say, thank you for protecting us from diseases. And today, we are thankful that you are saving us from protecting and saving us from diseases. Thank you always. Amen. Well, reread the book already all, so I need to say goodbye now. Well, thank you for watching my videos, and I hope I see you next time. Goodbye.